welcome back to Real Reviews. This is Cody Williams. We are talking about the movie Dr. Sleep. It is a sequel to Stanley Kubrick's 1980 film, The Shining, and based off the respective novel from Stephen King. The movie story follows Danny Torrance, who is a little kid in The Shining, who is now all grown up, and played by the great Ewan McGregor. He is struggling with his past demons from his experience from the Overlook Hotel from the previous movie, and he finds out that he is not the only one with a shining ability. So he befriends a teenage girl who also happens to have the same ability, and they both find out they are in danger from a cult that feeds on people with their shining ability. I love Stanley Kubrick's film The Shining, and I hold it on the highest regard when it comes to film. It's simply a masterpiece. I have watched it countless times, and it's definitely one of the best movies I have ever seen. I can't praise the movie really enough. When I went to this new movie, Dr. Sleep, I really tried to keep my expectations not too terribly high because I really did not want to be disappointed. Well, let me tell you what, I was not let down. I was simply awestruck after seeing Dr. Sleep. It has some of the best fleshed out characters and world building aspects you could ever witness on film. The movie was definitely quite the spectacle. Dr. Sleep has about the same runtime as The Shining, which is 2 hours and 30 minutes long. And to be honest, it really did not feel that long of a movie. And I felt it could have been just a tad longer to elaborate on some character backgrounds, especially from the villainous cult members, really. Because sometimes you don't know what they're all about, but it's alright. The movie glosses over them just a tad just to justify their actions. Danny Torrance and the other protagonists were cleverly written. And to appreciate this film to the fullest, you do have to see the 1980 movie, The Shining. Dr. Sleep mirrors a lot of scenes from The Shining and does so perfectly well. There is a bunch of subtle references to The Shining in this movie, and there are some references that are more obviously in your face. I can see where some may complain about Dr. Sleep for having too much fan service, but in all true honesty, it didn't bother me one bit. I thought it was just fine the way it was. I really want to give a shout out to the casting department for this movie. Instead of digitally de-aging the actors, they went with a practical route and cast actors that literally looked like they walked offset from The Shining. It was amazing. The casting choices were nothing but spectacular. I had some double take moments here and there, and because the casting was truly that good. Mike Flanagan did a phenomenal job with the directing Dr. Sleep. You may be familiar with some of his work. He also worked on the Netflix show The Haunting of Hill House, and also a few other movies as well, including Gerald's Game, which also happens to be based off another Stephen King story as well. The movie Oculus, Ouija, Origin of Evil, and also Hush. He has quite the impressive lineup of movies that he has worked on. He has other movies, but that's just the ones that I've seen. You can tell he puts passion into his work, and it shows. Mike Flanagan definitely has an eye for stupendous quality when it comes to working behind the camera. And I have not read the Stephen King novels that both The Shining and Dr. Sleep are based on, but I plan on changing that sometime soon, hopefully, with scheduling and all that. With that in mind, I don't know how accurate both of the movies are to their respective source material, so I don't have a say-so in the subject matter. Overall, if you love Stanley Kubrick's movie, The Shining, like I do, you can pretty much guarantee yourself that you will love Doctor Sleep. It's not your typical jump scare filled horror flick. Doctor Sleep leaves some mystery and implications just like The Shining does, which I find more horrifying than anything else. It leaves you to fill in the gaps with your imagination, and that's the kind of movie that I enjoy the most. Whereas most movies nowadays hold your hand and has a spoon feed everything out to you. Doctor Sleep is definitely a great finishing chapter to The Shining. And also, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that this is one of the year's best movies. A little bit bold, but hey. I give this movie an A. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel to keep up with my real reviews.